everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new here. I teach everything manifestation from a science standpoint, psychology standpoint, sometimes a little bit of religion. So if you're new here, please make sure you like, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Also, every time I film in here, I get comments about my Christmas tree over here. No, I'm not a Christmas fanatic. I like it to use it as like an ambiance lighting, and it also hides the litter box from when you walk into the room. So anyway, today I want to talk about the difference between inspired action and taking, I guess, forced action, normal action. I know there's a little bit of confusion around that. People don't really understand the difference and maybe are doing things that they assume are going to affect their manifestation in a negative way. So I just want to clear up some things when it comes to that and kind of tell you how you can tell the difference, and also if you are taking forced action, how to fix that. So let's get right into the video. So first things first, the difference between inspired action and forced action, very simple, is anxiety, I would say, but there's like nuance to it. So let's use text messages for an example, because everybody wants a text message from their specific person. Let's say you are manifesting a text message and all of a sudden you get this like urge to just text them because you want to see them and you feel like really excited but also a little bit anxious. There is a huge difference between trying to text them or wanting to text them because you're worried that you're not going to be able to manifest a text from them. If you don't reach out, you're never going to hear from them again and everything is just terrible and you have to see them so desperately and you're trying to force a reply from them, versus being anxious because you're like, oh my God, I feel like I want to text them and I just know they're going to be so happy to hear from me. They're going to reply instantly, like they can't wait to hear from me. I'm going to be able to see them. It's going to be so good. And I just feel this urge because they're probably manifesting a text from me. So I'm, inclined to reach out. Big difference. So for example, a friend of mine, her and I hadn't spoken in, I want to say like 2 weeks or so. And we literally just started texting again yesterday. Nobody was mad. Nobody was upset. Like we kind of just caught up with each other. But so I was the one who reached out first because I was the one who was supposed to message last. And nobody was like thinking about like, oh, what if this person doesn't reply? Like it never crossed my mind that she wouldn't reply. Like I just knew she would. She replied a bit faster than I expected her to, but that's neither here nor there. It was actually nice. So there's a big difference between trying to force an action and just going on with the rest of your day and not thinking about it. And I think that's also a big factor. Like, are you trying to take an action that if you are taking it, you're going to be sitting in wait all day, every day? Where is my result? Is this working? Like, is this, doing what I think it is? Or let's use the text example. Are you sending that text and then throwing your phone away and just going about the rest of your day like you normally would? Because you know that reply and also that favorable reply is coming. Now, obviously, like I said, there's nuances to it. You could be so convinced that you're going to get a reply and then you end up getting one. And it's negative. Okay, so what? Revise it, affirm against it, it doesn't matter. Let's say you aren't getting a reply at all. Okay, they're just busy. They're going to reply to me like later in the day when they can. I sometimes text people and I don't hear from them for several days, but I'm never thinking like, oh, they forgot about me. Oh, they're not going to text me back ever. That just never crosses my mind. Like to me, it's like, yeah, you're going to reply. I know you will. So I'm not worried about it. And, and that's the problem, is that people are just so worried and concerned with, for example, 24 access to other people and to their desires and everything, that if we don't get something right away, our brain instantly goes to the like worst case scenario. Oh, they didn't text me within 5 minutes. They hate me. Like I knew someone like that who, whenever they didn't get a response fast enough, they assumed that this person was doing something shady or they didn't like them. And guess what? They ended up manifesting that scenario every single time without fail. Sometimes it was faster. Sometimes it took a little bit longer, but you could literally see their affirmations, like the things that they were saying about themselves and about other people, being reflected back to them. I was even witness to one situation that was so weird where they were saying something to me over and over again, and then when I was with the person that they were saying it about, that person reiterated that affirmation back to them 100%, like down to a T. And they just looked at me and they're like, see, I was right. No, like you weren't right. You manifested that. It's not about you being right or you predicting something. That's not how that works. Because I'm going to make a video about like success stories. So if you want to be featured in that, if you have a success story, my DMs on Instagram are open. So reach out to me through Instagram and let me know. It can be as long or as short as you want. And I'm just going to, make a list and then compile them and read them to you very soon. But I also remember there was one person that I was helping, and they, like, the whole 3D reality, everything around them was literally telling them, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Like, it's not going to work. You know, they were basically ghosted. Things were going really, really bad. And they just kept at it. Like, they were very, very firm and steady. And I remember they were actually taking inspired action. And that's the thing. Like, oftentimes when you take inspired action, you don't even realize you've done it until after the fact. So they were driving down a path that they normally wouldn't drive down. I think it was because they needed to be rerouted, I believe. And then they literally ran into their person, like just driving past them. There was no interaction, no, like nothing, but that led to conversation. And then that led to, you know, trying again. And then they had more hiccups. So they kept going into manifestation again, not taking as much action this time around. And funnily enough, the person that they were manifesting, they actually kept rejecting them because they realized, oh, maybe I need to do more work. So they were affirming for them while also rejecting them. This person would not give up. They would not stop. And last I heard, they're married now. So do with that what you will. And that was from I want to say that was like a 6-month-ish. 5 months, 6 months from we ran into each other again to we're talking again to now we're married. So things can go instant, things can go quickly. And I've also told a story before where I had inspired action. I was trying to reach somebody and there was no way to reach them. And I was like really mad about it. But then I was like, no, I'm just going to manifest it. And I was driving home and I didn't feel like going to McDonald's. I wasn't hungry. I didn't feel like it. But then I was like, no, I just got to go. And I was like, okay, but I don't need it. So I literally tried to talk myself out of it. And before I knew it, my hand was turning the steering wheel and I drove into McDonald's, parked, and I swear to God, I turned around and the person was sitting in the car right next to me. And I was able to talk to them, get a hold of them, and, you know, make sure that everything we needed to talk about was cleared up. So I was like, this is a perfect example of sometimes you don't even realize you're doing it. When you are in a situation where you feel like you are making a quote unquote conscious decision to take action, always ask yourself, what is my motive? Like, where exactly is this coming from? How do I feel about it internally? Do I actually feel good enough to, like, let me put it this way. And let's go with the text message again with your SP. Are you feeling the exact same way when you're texting your SP, who, let's say you haven't had contact with in like weeks, and sometimes it's days, sometimes it's months for people, as if you were texting, let's say, your mother or your brother or your best friend? You know full well they're going to get back to you. If they're not getting back to you, there's a reason for it. If there's a reason that is much, much bigger than the both of you, where they actually need to take more time, they're still going to text you and let you know, like, hey, now's not a really good time. Like, I got your text. I'm going to get back to you, whatever the case may be. You are going to be hearing from them in some way, shape, or form. So you send a text, you're not worried at all whatsoever. You're going to be like, you know, I have family members that sometimes I text them like back to back to back, as in like several days back to back, and they open it, they don't even respond. And I'm like, okay, but when the time is good, like, we'll talk on the phone. And then they'll call me like a couple days later and be like, hey, I saw this and this, like, and then we'll talk about it. Nobody these days should still feel obligated or inclined to have access to people 24/7. Everybody's busy. Everybody has a life. Everybody's got stuff going on. There's always movement in the background. Just because someone's not reaching out to you right away, or you're taking other action, right? Let's say you're opening your business, and, you know, that is also like obviously like common sense action. But then you are like, oh my God, I didn't get a sale yet. Like, what do I do? Now I need to buy ads. Now I need to do this, that, and the other, like, cause it's not working. That's not inspired action. That's you forcing action. But let's say inspired action, and I've done this several times. I mean, you can go on my TikTok and see it. I literally talk about it right before, and then I do it to demonstrate it to you. For example, whenever I manifest an influx in followers, which happens few and far between, but when I do, you can tell. I would then affirm, and funnily enough, you know, ads and other options come up for me more and more, and I see other videos and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't really, whatever. But then I oftentimes, I'm so embarrassed by this, okay? Because my most viral videos, I'm either like going to bed, I just got out of bed, like I'm in PJs, I just look terrible every time. I get this thing of like, wait, I have this idea. Let me just film this TikTok right now. Nobody's gonna see it anyway. I'm just gonna like wing it. I look crazy. Those always got millions and millions of views and gave me the influx in followers, which oftentimes even went above what, oh, sorry, honey. I just hit my cat. I didn't mean to. He just jumped into my hand. That then gave me not just the influx of followers that I wanted, but sometimes, like most of the time, it even went above and beyond that. We didn't get snuggles today yet, huh? No. You really oftentimes just don't even know that it's happening until it's happening. And if you are taking action that you realize isn't inspired, you're not getting the results that you want. Like I said, there's many options. You can always revise and be like, no, I got exactly what I wanted. I got the result that I wanted. What you can also do is pivot, use placebos. So again, the text message. Let's say you sent the text message to your SP. They didn't respond, but someone else is blowing up your phone for whatever reason. Every time your phone rings, I demand you to be like, oh, my SP just texted me. Look at them. They're blowing up my phone. Like, I can't believe this. Not only did they not text me once, they're like bombarding me over here. She's so beautiful and Halloween-y. I love her. Okay, let's go. I still want you to make sure that if and when you're doing that, you're doing everything you can to make sure that everything is literally skewed in your favor, no matter what. So I don't care if you took uninspired action. Everything surrounding that scenario should still align, even if your 3D reality does not show you the results that you want. And when it comes to action, like a lot of people feel like, well, but if I'm not taking the action, who will? I'm manifesting this. So I clearly need to take action. First of all, that's a law of attraction mindset, and that's just whatever. It comes from hustle culture. There's just really no actual proof that that is a thing, because you have to think about it this way. Somebody is always carrying out your manifestation. And I don't even remember, there was something I talked to somebody about the other day, literally talking about this. Oh yeah. So I know someone who is actually trying to change jobs. And they were manifesting, I'm going to do like a full success story on that, but they were basically manifesting leaving that job, which is difficult because they're kind of a pivotal part. Never in the entire time that they worked there have they had any just walk-in applications. They hadn't put on an application to replace that person yet anyway. And someone just randomly walked in and handed in like an application for that specific job position. Somebody has to carry out your manifestation. They didn't need to quit yet. They didn't need to tell anybody. And even on that day, they were not supposed to be there. Someone else was, but someone else called in. So they were there, were able to take the application, because I don't know if the other person that would have initially been there would have even taken it, because why would they? They normally don't do that. So you sometimes don't need to take action, even if it's something where you're like, well, but I have to. Only if common sense tells you. This is the best example. If you want to manifest being an influencer, but you don't post or you don't create content, that's nonsensical, right? You want to be an influencer, you got to post your content. You got to put yourself out there and do that. And then, inspired action will come in terms of you either creating great content or somebody else supporting you or following you. Sometimes it's even just as I remember when I first started out, I was so self-conscious. I was just really worried, which is weird because I've been doing content creation for more than 10 years now, like back and forth. I had a couple channels, couple things, couple businesses, just trying to find what fit me the best. But I had a video go viral, and I actually had my account was at 30,000 followers, I believe, when I deleted it the first time around. And then the second time around, when I started again, I was just so much more self-conscious because I was like, okay, I actually want to take this seriously. This is not private account. This is not fun. This is business for me. And I hadn't even hit 1,000 followers, or just barely hit 1,000 followers. And I remember I was manifesting self-confidence and just, faith in myself. And I had 2 creators follow me that I'm still to this day friends with on TikTok. One was at 750,000 and the other one was at over 1 million or over 2 million or something. They're a couple, and they don't follow a whole lot of people back. And I just thought to myself, wow, they followed me. So they clearly saw something in my content that I couldn't see at the time. And they had so much faith in me. They wanted to be my friend. And, they even comment on my stuff and I comment on theirs. Like, it's just, I don't know. It was just so heartwarming and it felt so great. But again, what compelled them to do it? Who knows? It wasn't for me to go and beg for them to follow me. No, I just affirmed for self-confidence. And again, whatever higher power you want to create with, decided that this is the path that my brain is supposed to take. Me finding their videos. Again, it was on my For You page actually, and I'm following them. And I think I left a comment. I really don't remember. I know with one person, I definitely didn't leave a comment, but they still followed me back. And then they decided, no, we're going to follow this person. And still to this day, every time I see them, it's just, my heart is just so full because they're just amazing, incredible people. I love them so much. I didn't take any action per se in that aspect. Yeah, I followed them. But I mean, how many people do you follow that you would like for them to follow you back, or just in general would like to be recognized? I mean, even someone like Trisha Paytas, for example. Let's take Trisha Paytas. She's an icon of the internet. She is so big and she can get in touch with a lot of people. She can get a lot of guests, but most of the time they are influencers. Sometimes they're a little bit bigger, but she talked about for years and years and years how there are certain celebrities that she would like to get in touch with or get on her podcast, and she just can't get it done, even though she's taking action, but she's trying to force that. I mean, she even talked about the fact that she blew up Britney Spears' DM so many times she's now blocked, like as in Instagram blocked her, not Brittany blocked her. Taking action isn't always the way to go, because even if you have access and you have resources, again, taking action doesn't mean anything. I mean, look at Hailey and Justin Bieber, for example. They met for the first time when they were both really, really young, and she had all the access and all the resources. And I still firmly believe, I don't know, I haven't made a celebrity video in such a long time. If you want a celebrity video about how she manifested him, which she made a lot of mistakes, by the way, like a lot of them, drop a comment down below. But I still firmly believe that she manifested him because it took a really long time for them to actually get together. There were a lot of like moving parts around it, but she definitely tried to kind of push her way into his circle, and that still didn't work out, because I believe if it had, they probably would have gotten together a lot sooner. Things might have, ended up different. And I know they were also broken up for a time because he tried to get back with Selena or whatever. So clearly things weren't going as smooth as they should have, even though she objectively tried to take as much action as you can, and even far beyond that. So it really just highly depends on not even how you're necessarily feeling, but how you are assuming and perceiving your reaction to be once you end up taking that action. And once you are going down that path of, I'm sending that text now, or I'm uploading that video, or I'm sending out that job application. If you have any more questions about this, please feel free to leave a comment down below. I definitely also want to hear, like I said, your success stories. If you feel comfortable enough, you can also leave them in the comments and write them out. But like I said, my DMs on Instagram are open if you want to message me on there. And like I said, please make sure you follow me on all my other social medias. I have Snapchat. I'm not on there as often as I should, but I'm trying to be a little bit better. And obviously I have TikTok. I've been uploading more on my tarot TikTok again. I also started a new account on YouTube for my tarot specifically, because I'm trying to build up that business again a little bit. I'm also training somebody right now, and they are absolutely incredible, amazing. So make sure you follow me on all those accounts, and I will see you in the next video, guys.